Today, we're going to be talking about fly fishing gear I wish I would have bought sooner. Now, all the gear I'm talking about today is stuff I use all the time and I do really enjoy. So, to start with, we've got a long handled net with a rubber basket. Now, this is a fish pond net. These are really pricey, but you can get cheap ones that have long handles and rubber baskets. It really doesn't matter what net. I just like having a net with a long handle and that rubber basket. The long handle's nice because you have extra reach when you're netting the fish, and the rubber basket's nice for when you have a fish flailing around, your hook doesn't get as tangled up. After getting a net like this, I'm never going back to a short-handled net. And I like the fish ponds just because they last for like pretty much ever. You can beat the hell out of these and they're not gonna break. Now, next, we're going to talk about radios. I've never fished with radios up until now. I recently got these and I've really enjoyed them. Just being able to talk to my friends on the river without having to call them on the phone is really convenient, especially if you're in areas that doesn't have service. These are the Rocky Talkie 5-watt GMRS radios. Now, these are really strong radios. I actually had to get a license for these. It was like $35 for 10 years. But it was really easy to get, and once you have it, you got it for 10 years, so it wasn't that big of a deal. What I like about these is you can actually use repeaters to actually send your signal even farther. So if there's a repeater in your area, you can connect to that channel, and you're going to get even more range out of these, which I believe these get like 35 miles line of sight, which is really good. And they also come with a long antenna, and then they come with a short antenna as well as a carabiner, so you can clip it so you don't accidentally drop it in the water. But if you do, it is waterproof. Now, let's dive into the next thing, and that's going to be this fly tying vise. Now, I started fly tying with this Wapsi kit, and the vise it came with really sucked. I got by for years on it, but once I upgraded to one of these, this is the Nirvana V2 fly tying vise. I wish I would have done it years ago because I love this vise. Just having the rotary function and having a nice clamp on there is just so convenient. So if you guys are still tying on one of those basic standard vices that come in those fly tying packs, upgrade to a vise like this. It is game changing. Next, we're going to talk about this product from Pisca. I think it's called Pisca or Pesca Innovations. I'll have it linked below, but these are rod holders that mount to your wall. They sent me these for free, so thanks for that, Pisca, Pesca. I hope one of those is right. But these are actually really handy. So I have a rod vault on my car, and it sucks leaving the rods in there because I get nervous, someone might steal them, but I hate to bring them inside and have to pack them up in a rod tube. So mounting these on my wall allows me to keep the rods assembled and be able to store it out of the way. I've just got it mounted up on my ceiling. Well, not quite on the ceiling, but close to the ceiling, so it's just completely out of the way, and my rods are nice and safe. So yeah, if you guys want to check these out, I'll have a link below. I'll also have a link below to all the gear I'm talking about today. By purchasing things through these links, it does help out my channel a lot. I do make a small commission off those sales. Next, we're going to talk about this fly rod. Now, this is the Nirvana Phoenix Glass. This is a 2-weight fly rod. If you guys haven't fished a 2-weight fiberglass rod, you got to give it a shot. I wish I would have got one of these when I first got into fly fishing because it is so much fun fishing a 2-weight, especially if you fish a lot of small streams. But yeah, the 2-weight Nirvana Phoenix Glass. And get a fiberglass one because fiberglass in these lower weight rods is just so much more fun. All right, next we're actually going to talk about sandals. Now, I have these sandals called Chacos, and they are really nice to fish in. They don't get grip on the river at all. If you have bad balance, I wouldn't recommend these, but what I like about them is they're comfortable. You can wear them everywhere. You can hike in them, and if any gravel or anything gets under your foot while you're on the river, once you lift your foot up, the current flushes it right out because they're a very open styled sandal. But yeah, and I love that they dry out really, really quick, so you don't have like a wet sopping sandal everywhere you go when you're not in the river. Next thing we're going to talk about are polarized sunglasses. Now, polarized sunglasses is crucial when it comes to fly fishing. If you're not fly fishing with polarized sunglasses, stop this video, go out and buy some right now. I like to use Sun Clouds. They're pretty cheap. They're like $50, but any polarized sunglass will really work fine, but it helps take that reflection off the water, and I use them for spotting trout. You can see trout so much easier when you're wearing polarized sunglasses. It also helps it so you're not squinting all the time, so you can fish for longer without getting tired. Next thing we're going to talk about are taco bags. So this is from Sims, but this is a taco bag. It's for holding your waders and your boots. And it's so handy because when you open it up, you can use it as like a little platform to stand on so you're not damaging your waders at all. It's just really nice for when you're like putting your waders on and stuff. And when you're done for the day and you take your waders off, you just basically stand on it, take your waders off, and then you grab the sides, and you can just zip it right up the side right there. So that makes it really easy. So yeah, I really like these. It's like 50 bucks, which I think is kind of overpriced for what it is, but it's just really convenient to have. So the last thing is going to be a fly fishing raft. Now that's going to be obviously the most expensive out of all this. They're not cheap, but they are so much fun, and it opens up so much water. Me and my wife, we have a really good time when we're floating rivers on the raft. And it's just a really nice, relaxing way to fish, and it's a great adventure. I didn't really have the funds when I first wanted to get into it, so what I actually did is I bought a raft that I could afford, and I built a frame to go on it. And rather than buying like one of those fly crafts or one of those like pre-assembled frames, I just welded up my own, and I'm still using it to this day. Eventually, I'd like to get like the NRS one they just came out with. I think it's called the Approach. But for now, this DIY one that I made, it's working great. I've floated the Snake River, the Green River, the Provo River. But yeah, it's really fun having one of those rafts. So obviously, if you're just getting into fly fishing, you know, that's further down the future. But if you guys are pretty into this sport, I do recommend them. It definitely adds a whole new level of enjoyment to fly fishing. So yeah, that's all I got for today. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to check out more, check these videos out right here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.